People call me Jacob, but
I do.
yeah,
Old guy.
it's fine.
It's an
It's
old
not.
guy
I don't want
thing.
everybody to call me Jacob. I like when only a few people do.
Jake, over the summer, a couple of the former players were talking about how you were a guy that was to be looked out for. And what have you done that's kind of like how did you get you into this position?
Yeah, I think the main thing you probably noticed it was mainly most of the defensive guys like Mo and Dwami, Mike, and that was because I was on scout receiver. I was playing scout receiver all last year, so I was like, we usually were separate. So it's the defense and then scout offense and then scout defense and or scout offense and then defense over there. So I was with the defense most of the year, and I was making a lot of plays on the DBs last year, and I think that's how I mainly got noticed by those guys.
What was the feeling when you got that ball in your hands on Saturday?
I don't know. Initially, I just wanted to see Dylan because I'm pretty close with Dylan, and it was a special moment that he threw me the ball. So that's all I remember really thinking is like I want to see Dylan and give him a hug, and I was just excited. That's really the only way to describe it.
Did you keep the ball?
No, I didn't keep the ball. I should have. I don't know. Maybe they have it. I'm not sure. People were telling me after. They were asking me if I kept the ball, and like that didn't go through my head at all until somebody said something. They were like, "Do you keep the ball?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think about that at all."
It's probably like against the rules.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was my first game at the big house too. Last year I dressed, but it was my first game playing at the big house, so that was be a good ball to keep. But
You just pick one up and say it was the same ball.
yeah, I know. That's what we were at the Spates house after, and Mr. Spade was telling me that Wilton threw a 2-point conversion or something like that. It was one of his first 2-point conversions, and he said that he just picked up like a random ball. And it's in like a container in their house or like on display. So.
The one from Minnesota?
Yeah, that was Minnesota. Yeah. They were all asking me if I kept the ball. All the parents were, but Mr. Spade specifically told me that story.
The reaction afterwards on social media or your phone blowing up or whatever, is that anything that you've gotten before?
No, definitely not. It was a little bit this summer when like Mike and Mo and those guys were saying stuff about me. It was a little bit like that, but it was just obviously way bigger. It was mainly people from back home where I lived in Cleveland, and even people from Pittsburgh where I originally was born and lived until the 5th grade. They were like people like tweeting about me from like even from that I haven't talked to in like 12 years. Like Pine Richland, you guys might know Pine Richland. They've been on ESPN and they played Cass Tech or somebody this year. But anyway, like they retweeted a tweet about me, and I was like, I played like Pee Wee football there. That's it. And, like, yeah, like I forgot. I didn't even know you guys like, remembered me, but that was pretty cool.
What's it like to be kind of like a claim to fame for them a little bit, as far
That
as
was
they're
cool.
being proud of you and promoting,
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. Like I said, I had friends, like a few of my best friends, like retweeted stuff and tweeted at me that I hadn't talked to in like 12 years, and you know, that's a little special to me, just because like to see that, you know, I made it to like this certain point where they're noticing me, and even like Pine Richland, who like, I mean, they have like Phil Jakovic who's playing at like he's at Notre Dame actually, and like all these dudes that are like playing at D1 programs, and like they still like recognize me from like the 3rd grade.
So were you like,
I actually played. Somebody tweeted at. This is kind of funny. Somebody tweeted at me, and they were like, they said it's all that backyard football that we played, and another one of my friends said, yeah, but we were on like that 2nd grade or like middle white championship team, and I played center on that team. So I was like pretty sure I played center. I don't know if it was that, but.
so you reply to them and say, do I gotta score a touchdown for you guys to give me a call, or what?
I'm sorry.
You said they haven't contacted you in like 12 years. You replied to them like,
Oh yeah,
you got to
I know.
score a touchdown for them to get a hold
Yeah,
of
I
you.
know. We lost complete contact. No, but it was all good.
What do you remember about the play with Nelson? Were you supposed to get the ball, or what do you?
Yeah. Initially, I'm not really sure where I am in the progression. I knew I was one of the main routes. I just remember looking at the leverage that the DB had, and it was a quick play. We got it right there and ran it. It was a quick play. I looked at the leverage that he had, and I remember I had to get outside and try to stack him a little bit. So um, that's really all I thought when I was running the route and when I looked out there.
How did probably a lot of you guys probably imagine, scoring your first college touchdown, scoring your first touchdown at Michigan Stadium. Was a 18-yarder from McCaffrey, that's not a bad one. I mean, how did it live up to what you hoped it would be?
Yeah, it definitely, it's funny. I don't know. I never really thought about, like, my first touchdown ever. I don't know. I guess it's kind of, like, different, but I never really thought about it, like, what my first touchdown would be or, like, what my first play would be or, like my first catch. That never really, like, ever crossed my mind when I've been here, but it was definitely a special moment. It was specifically special with Dylan and then, like, other guys that are on the field that are my best friends, like Joel Huntingford, Oliver Martin, I think Andrew Stuber might have been out there, True, guys that I've really hung out with a lot and that I'm really close to around the field.
How much has it helped going up against all last year going up against the defense, the number ones and the scout team, once you finally get out on the field?
Yeah,
Like that?
it helps a ton. I've only ran, that was basically the only route I've run against another team in the past, I don't even know how long, 2 years, I don't know, year and a half, whatever. It was a lot easier than running against our safeties, that's for sure. That route would have been a lot more difficult to run against our safeties, so I think it helps a lot, continuously going against our DBs, especially our safeties and our corners. They make it really difficult on us, so practicing against them has helped me a lot.
How many times have you gone back and watched the press conference?
Yeah, I have. People have tweeted at me a lot about it. I've looked at the route. I can't give you a specific amount of times probably, but I've looked at the route a few times, and that's about it. Not a whole lot.
Just so you guys know, we have Donovan right behind you, so I don't want to hold him up. If anyone wants to talk to Donovan, he can stay here with Jacob, but Donovan is here.
How much does that fuel you, though? Obviously you don't want this to be your one shining moment at Michigan. How much does a play like this fuel you to want more?
No, it does a lot. It fuels me a ton. I think, now that I made a play, I've proved kind of that I can be out there. Last game was my first game getting a lot of playing time because I started on 3 teams versus Notre Dame. I started on 1 team and then was a backup on a couple. So I'm talking about special teams. So that fuels me. I kind of proved to people that I could go out there and I can make plays on our team. So I definitely want more.
You mentioned that you were friends with True, pretty
Yeah.
close with him. He had a good game Saturday too.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you guys to kind of share in that moment?
It's really cool. True works really hard, and obviously he's not in my class, but no, it's cool. We played on a scout team together last year actually, and I constantly saw him working and wanting to get to a point where he's able to make those runs. And we've talked about it a few times, how difficult it was, being on scout team, trying to break that seal to get up there. So now it's really cool seeing that he's the third back and looking to get better, raising the depth charts.
As a group, how do the receivers look different this year?